What's up, you guys? Derek Johnson here. I want to talk about something that I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs might get into this sticky situation, and I think, talking about right now may help to avoid this situation. What happens is, as you start, building a company, reporters, people from the press, they want to start talking to you and they want to ask you questions. And for some reason, I think entrepreneurs want to share a lot. I think that's part of our, DNA. They want to share, everything that's going on. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs, what will happen, and luckily this didn't happen to us, but I've seen it before happen, is when you're talking to a reporter or the press and you say, you're talking about something, you say, off the record, we have 500, thousand something, or we have, X percentage growth this year, off the record. Unfortunately, I talked to one of my friends in the PR industry, and what they told me is the only way that that can actually be construed as an agreement between the person interviewing and the person being interviewed is if you say, this will be off the record, and before you actually say something, the reporter on the other end says, yes, I agree that it'll be off the record. You can't just say anything and say, oh, by the way, off the record, blah, 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 and they won't print it. So if you do want to say something off the record, to the press, what you have to get is you have to get their agreement. It doesn't have to be in writing, it's just a mutual agreement between you two as you're, conversing, over the phone or in person. Another takeaway, though, is if you do have something that you do not want anyone to see, don't ever share with the press. There are certain people out there, certain press people that will publish anything. They don't care about embargoes. They don't care about, off the record comments. Even if they do agree, they're still going to publish it. So, my biggest advice is if you're going to say something that you really, really don't want on the record, don't ever say it to a reporter, because that's what their job is, to write what you say, in the newspaper. If it's an off-the-cuff comment that you wouldn't mind, having being published, in the press, but you'd rather just leave it out, agree with them. It has to be a mutual agreement that it will be off the record. Anyway, that's my tip for today. Hopefully it'll help some of you guys startups.